So, before we start our discussion for today, let's try to invite some auspiciousness by a prayer. Again, it's one of the songs. It's our subject today, a song by Vaishnava Acharya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this beautiful song, and founder Acharya is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He always instructed us to begin any discourses with this. So if you know this song, you can follow along. If not, then you can probably drive along and listen. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Welcome everyone to our Sunday feast program. As Mataji was saying, it's a spiritual discourse plus a festival. We call it a Sunday festival, which is a combination of singing, dancing, praying, discussing some spiritual topics, and finally honoring some remnants or prasadam of Lord at the end of program. So before I start, how many of you are coming here for the first time? Any first timers? Okay. Welcome. We're happy to have you. So I had an agenda on on the board for me was songs of Vaishnava Acharyas. So we will come to that in probably in 15-20 minutes. I'll just try to set a scene for everyone. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Oh, that's making a noise. Okay. So I'll try to do it low. I don't think so. So I guess, does everyone have a copy of Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so please open chapter 5, text 18. On my book it's 245, page number 245 in English. Yes, chapter 5th, text 18, shloka number 18. At the bottom you will see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please repeat me if you can read and say it in Sanskrit. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne.
Brahmane Gavihastini. Brahmane Gavihastini. Shuni Chaiva Shapake Cha. Shuni Chaiva Shapake Cha. Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita Samadarshina. Once more. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Brahmane Gavihastini. Shuni Chaiva Shapake Cha. Pandita Samadarshina. Translation. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater, outcast. So before we go and discuss this verse, I would like to seek blessings of everyone and by doing those little prayers. So if you know those prayers, close your eyes, hold your hands and say, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Sadameham Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savadaitam Savabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vasha, Om Namah Devi Sati Kripatam, Om Namah Shri Gurum Jyota, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishvara. So, we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. And this is a 5th chapter named Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, where Shri Krishna is trying to bring Arjuna his fellow friend, disciple, cousin to a platform where he can stand up and fight on the battle of Kurukshetra. And the discussion has reached to a point where Krishna says, a humble sage by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision, learned and gentle Brahmana, cow, elephant, dog, and dog eater. Why? Why this point has been brought to Arjuna's attention? Because Arjuna was thinking that this is my cousin, this is my teacher, Dronacharya, this is my grandfather, Bhishma Dev. They are standing in front of me. So how can I kill these people? They are my family. I don't want to win a war by killing my relatives, on the battlefield. I'll be called so many things, he said in the first chapter, if you have ever read it. So to remove Arjuna's darkness and his blindfold of Maya illusion that he had temporarily, Krishna is bringing a point here. He's saying, a humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned Brahmana, a Brahmin who knows Vedas, Shastras, and who is well versed in the Vedic knowledge. And he's comparing that with a cow, an elephant, a dog, and dog eater. So a sage, when he sees all these 5 different categories of living beings, I would call it this moment. Yes, they are living beings. Cow, elephant, a Brahmana, a dog eater, they are living beings. They have a soul in their heart, Paramatma residing. So Krishna is saying that when a sage, by true knowledge, he learns everything, he will see all those 5 people in the same category. And what is that category? A soul, an individual soul, Atma. On the bodily platform, you might be able to see that a Brahmin is wearing dhoti, has a sacred thread on the top. He's wearing probably tilak or some kind of face markings. He is chanting or she is chanting the mantras. That's a Brahmin. A cow has 4 legs, right? Gives milk. These are the characteristics. Then you have an elephant who is huge, who has 2 tusks and a long trunk. A dog who barks at everyone. A dog eater, a chandal, right? Who eats a dog. So in Vedic tradition, whoever consumes the flesh of dog, they are called outcast. They cannot live within the caste system according to Vedic scriptures. Those who eat dogs, they are called outcast, militia. So when a learned Brahmana sees all these categories of individuals, he sees them on a single platform. That platform is, they are a spirit soul. A spirit soul has taken a different covering. So our body is just a covering, like I'm wearing a brown kurta, some Prabhu is wearing white kurta. But you can say that that's a white kurta man, he's a brown kurta man. It's a man, she's a lady, right? So similarly, our souls, according to our karmic reactions, we come or we land into different species of life. 804,000 species of life. And when we understand that the migration from one form of body to another form of body, the covering changes, our clothes change, like we change our clothes, right? or we change our existing bodies. When we were small, we were like 2 feet, 2.5 feet, then 3, then 4, then 5, right? So our body changed. Our nose were very teeny when we were born, our hands were very teeny. They are big now. Our hairs, we didn't have hair probably at the birth, or a little bit. Then they were black, brown, then gray. So our bodies are changing. What remains constant is a spirit soul. And one who knows this knowledge is called a sage, a saint. A saint sees soul residing within a body. So, coming to the point where we were saying why Krishna is bringing this, because Arjuna was deluded. He couldn't understand that his fellow relatives or kinsmen, they were all just bodies. They were probably going through their karmic reactions, and they took birth, they will die, and they will probably take another birth. That's what Sri Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna. So we'll just quickly read few lines from the purport. So purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or caste. The Brahmana and the outcast may be different from the social point of view, or a dog, cow, and elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist. Now coming at the bottom. So I'm coming at the bottom. The similar characteristics of a soul and supersoul are that they both are conscious, eternal, blissful. But the difference is that individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the supersoul is conscious of all bodies. The supersoul present in bodies without distinction. So, Srila Prabhupada makes a point towards the end of the purport. He says, so in our bodies there is a soul, as we discussed, there is a soul. But there is super soul as well. Super means something higher than the soul. So super soul is Paramatma, we all know. So in our body, in core of our heart, that's what Bhagavad Gita says, in core of our heart resides one Atma and one Paramatma. What is the difference between both of these? The Atma is conscious of its surroundings. So if, like, I am an Atma, so I know this is my hand, this is, these are my legs, this is my head. So I know my surroundings. If my head is aching, I would know my head is aching. But I wouldn't know if your or anyone's head is aching, right? So the soul is pretty much conscious of its own surroundings, or the body, in other words. But the soul does not know what's happening other than its jurisdiction, But the super soul, the Paramatma residing in everyone's heart, knows in and out of everyone and everything. So Paramatma knows what's going in my body or with me, and he knows with all of you what's going on. In the Vedic literature, there is a text that compares the soul and super soul in another format. It says on a branch of a tree, there are two birds. There's a tree and there's a branch and there are two birds. One bird is enjoying a fruit. He's eating a fruit. The other bird is simply watching. So the bird who is enjoying or eating the fruit is called Atma. That bird is kind of trying to engage himself or herself into something. But there is one more bird who is simply watching the bird. And that bird is called Paramatma. So in our body Paramatma resides there. Then the Paramatma has some duties to perform. Atma has also duties. If you have to maintain your body, you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to drink, right? Similarly, Paramatma also has some duties in our body. And what are those? The first is guiding. Paramatma guides the soul. The second is Paramatma supervises the soul. Alright? So when I say supervise, I mean it observes the actions of the soul or the body. So that's what Paramatma does in our heart, in everyone's heart. He instructs, guides, enlightens us, and he supervises our actions. So, coming to the scene of Bhagavad Gita, why I chose this verse is because it sets who we are. We are soul. That's what Sri Krishna is trying to teach to Arjuna. And with a comparison that how you need to see everyone, not as boy, lady, old man, white man, black man, Indian, Chinese, Asian, African. Those are coverings. Then you have dogs, cats, mosquitoes, snakes, right? So many different varieties of species, fishes, aquatics, all aquatics, birds. What we need to see in those, we need to see that there is a Paramatma and they all are part and parcels of Super Soul or Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, I am the knower of everything, I know everything. I am the father of everything. From me everything emanates. So seeing them as fellow brothers, sisters, or fellow souls, and treating them on that platform, that is the instruction of Sri Krishna here. You might see that you've been very nice to, I love my dog, yes? I like my dog, I love my cat, but when I go to supermarket, I like to eat fish. I like dog, but I eat fish. Yes? So treating everyone equally. Treating everyone with respect that they are part and parcel of Sri Krishna. And respecting them. So it's again, I'll read the text for you and then we'll go to the next part of our discussion. The humble sage, it says humble, by the virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and dog eater. So this is something for us to learn today. When we see different kind of individuals, try to see beyond their coverings, beyond their material bodies. He's tall, he's thin, he's thick, he's beautiful, he's ugly. Try to see that there is a Paramatma residing in their heart and respect that Paramatma and pray to that Paramatma. So in our today's presentation, I had also thought of discussing few songs. When we say songs, we think of some music, dance, lights, right? Bollywood, Hollywood, pop, rock, so many types of things. But in our tradition, they are called bhajana. So I need a volunteer. I have a few copies, but not a lot of copies. If someone can volunteer to distribute it, maybe share with one with couple or 3 people. I think that you might have 9 or 10. Yeah, they can share. Mother, you both can share. You don't have enough copies, yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So, I hope you can try to share a copy with your neighbor. If not, then try to listen. It's not you really need it, but this is just for your reference and to go along when you read it. So before we go to our course or our discussion topic, I just wanted to tell you what are these Vaishnava songs about. So Vaishnava songs, as famously known in our tradition, is a poetic expressions written by our previous acharyas, either glorifying their lordships, their guru, or the parampara, or discussing some of the philosophical points. Now, you might have heard, if you are a Hare Krishna devotee, that chanting of holy name of Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the only way in this Kali Yuga. Yes? How many of you know? The chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna is the only way in this age of Kali. Yes? So why do we need bhajans? Why do we need the songs for? If chanting is a perfect solution to everything, and we chant all the time, why do we need bhajans?
Not to be monotonous.
To connect more with the Lord,
Okay, to set a connection with the Lord. Okay, anyone else?
Not to be monotonous.
Okay,
For the
Variety.
last pleasure.
okay, variety, for pleasure. Anything else? No? So these bhajans, they are,
it makes us more emotional.
okay, so expression of your emotions. So these bhajans are part of the Navavida Bhakti, the 9-step processes of bhakti that we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. So these bhajans, they are part of Shravan and Kirtan both. How? First, coming to the point of establishment of the authenticity, and then we'll come to a point of the need. So this has been our tradition. The book we just read or discussed, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it's a Gita, it's a song. It's a song of Lord, right?
Yes.
So Sri Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, there were hundreds and millions of soldiers ready to fight. He is singing a song. Then we coming down to our parampara, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He, when living in Puri or when his travels to southern India or Jharkhand or Vrindavan, he would sing the songs of Kalidas, Bilvamangal Thakur. Yes, and he would also ask Sarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai to sing songs of Bilvamangal Thakur or Geet Govinda. Then we come down to our acharyas. Most recent Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he was present on this globe, he would also sing songs of Vaishnava Acharya before his class. He would chant Radha Madhav. He recorded several bhajans. If you know ever, Gaurangera Duti Pada, Shad Goswami Ashtak, so many songs. So we follow their footsteps. We follow what our acharyas, starting from Srila Prabhupada to his guru Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to his guru, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they all used to write and sing songs. Now coming to the need, these songs are a simplified expression of Vedic literature. Sometimes you might not understand what's written in shlokas or Sanskrit or Purana or Itihas or Samhitas. And our acharyas are kind enough to reword them and put them in beautiful songs so you can sing and play along. And the last point of why we need to chant or why we need to sing or hear about these songs is because it helps us to increase our love and devotion to Shri Krishna, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, or Shri Guru, or Shri Vaishnavas. Like at the end of program or at the end of the day we eat, right? We cannot say we'll just simply chant Hare Krishna and live. We drink, we sleep. So as there are different limbs of devotional service, singing the songs or hearing the songs of Vaishnava Acharya is also a strong link of bhakti. It's an inseparable part of bhakti. So in Iskcon, if you haven't been in the morning programs or you might hear soon, we sing so many different songs. In the morning, the first prayer, what do we sing? What's our first line in the morning? Yes. We sing a song of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sansara Davano. There's a blazing fire. 4 a.m. in the morning, you sing There's a Blazing Fire. And we sing Shri Guru Vanna, Shri Guru Charana Padma. You sing Tulsi Arti. We sing Darshanarti, the hymns of Govindam, Adi Purusham, right? Even the Vedic literature, if you go to Vedas, the Vedas are nothing but hymns. When Brahma is singing several songs, or if you go to Srimad Bhagavatam or our favorite scripture, there are so many sections which are literally sung, right? The most famous, if you have heard of Gopi Geet, Gopya Uchu Jayati Te Dikam, right? So all of our scriptures also sing songs. So today I have selected, I'm running short of time, so I had selected 6 songs for our discussion. I'll try to say the words. For the first prayer, this is a song by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur from his book named Sharanagati. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, as you know, he was a very busy person who would hardly sleep for a couple of hours during the day and eat maybe a full meal and a half meal during the day. And every day he would take special time from his schedule to write these books of bhajans. He has written several books. Sharanagati is one of them. There are other books also. You can probably try to contact me, or if you know anyone, you'll get to know more books of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So this is the first song of Sharanagati book. So Sharanagati means surrender. So in this book, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur will explain the process of Sharanagati by songs, by writing various songs. So the book starts with this song. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiver Daya Kari Saparshada Shirodhama Saha Avatari Atyanta Dhurlabha Prema Kori Baredan Shikhaya Sharanagati Bhakatera Pran Dainya Atma Nivedana Gotrupte Varana Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palana. भक्ति अनुकूल मात्र कार्य स्वीकार भक्ति प्रतिकूल भाव प्रजन गिगार षडंग शरणागति होइबे जहार तहार प्रार्थना सुने श्री नंद कुमार रूप सनातन पदे धन्ते तृणधरी भक्ति विनोद पड़े दो पद धरी कांडिया कांडिया बोले आमी तो अधम शिखाए शरणागति करो हे उत्तम. So if you know Bengali, you would probably who is a Bengali? Okay, you would probably understand what he's trying to say. But the language of the song is Bengali, and he says, out of compassion for the fallen soul, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world with his personal associates and divine abode to teach Sharanagati, surrender to Almighty Godhead, to freely distribute the ecstatic love of God, which is ordinarily very difficult to obtain. This Sharanagati is the very life of a true devotee. So, in the first line, he explains the reason of the appearance of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to teach Sharanagati, to teach how to surrender to God. Right? The ways of Sharanagati are humility, dedication to self, acceptance of Lord's name as one's only maintainer, faith that Krishna will surely protect, execution of only those acts which are favorable to pure devotional service, and renunciation of conduct adverse to pure devotion. So the 6 limbs of Sharanagati, they are mentioned in the line 3 and 4. It says the first one is Dainya, humility. Atmanivedana, that means surrender of oneself. Gotripte Varana, acceptance of Lord as one's only maintainer. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, Vishwasa Palan, that a Krishna, you will surely protect me at any given point of life. Bhakti Anukula Matra Karera Svikar. So accepting things which are only favorable to devotional service and rejecting those things which are not favorable to devotional service. These are the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. And it's an amazing book. I would really recommend all of you to read it whenever you can. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur lists different songs in each section. So let's say we start with Dainya. So in Dainya, there are 6 or 7 bhajans, which explains what should be our mood or what is the need of being Dainya. What are the characteristics of one who is in Dainya Bhava. And similarly going forward, there's Atma Nivedan has few songs, then you have Vasharakshi Krishna, few songs. So the entire book is listed in 6 sections, and each section has different songs explaining the qualities, the meaning, the need of that Sharanagati limb. And he says on the 5th, Sharananga Sharanagati hoibe jahar, tahara prarthana sune Sri Nanda Kumar. So the son of Nanda, Sri Krishna, hears the prayers of anyone who take refuge in him by the 6-fold practice. The importance is explained here. And in the 6 and 7 it says, Bhakti Vinod places a straw between his teeth and prostrates himself before 2 Goswamis, Sri Rupa and Sanatan, and claps their lotus feet with his hands. I'm certainly the lowest of men. He tells them weeping, but please make me the best of men by teaching me the ways of Sharanagati. So in several songs you might hear the author would say, I am fallen, I am lowly, I am wretched, I am sinful. But that's not That's not true. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is called the seventh Goswami. He is the eternal associate of Lord. He is a Manjari. I'm not sure. I don't remember which Manjari. Probably Labanga Manjari, if I'm not wrong. So he's the eternal associate of Lord. He cannot be fallen. The eternal associates of Lord, they never fall down. But he's taking a position where we can understand what is our position. So he portrays himself into a scene where we can compare ourselves, put ourselves in the position and say, Hey Krishna, Hey Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, I am the most fallen. But make me the best by teaching me the process of Sharanagati. Right? This is a beautiful song. It's sung by Srila Bhakti Thakur Maharaj very beautifully. If you Google it or YouTube it, you might be able to hear his beautiful voice and a beautiful song. So come to page 2. I'm sorry, I'm moving really quick. The clock is ticking, so this is a song by Lochan Das Thakur. Now Lochan Das Thakur is another famous poet. Srila Prabhupada would several times quote his bhajans. He was the associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if I'm not wrong, he is the author of Chaitanya Mangal, the later Chaitanya Mangal, not the first one. And this is a song about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and little bit about explaining our positions and our situation in this material world. Says, Avatar Sara Gaura Avatar, Kenana Bhajile Tare, Kari Nilevas, Gelana Piyas, Apana Karama Phere. O my mind, why don't you worship Sri Gaura Sundar, the crown jewel of all incarnations? You always stay in water, but your thirst is never satiated due to your own past bad activities. So again, he's saying himself, he has his bad activities or karmas, apana karma phere. These associates of Lord, they do not have any karma to deal with. They come here, they perform their activities, and they go back and join the Leelas of Sri Krishna or Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in this song, he is stressing the point how, knowing that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Kali Yuga, we don't worship him. We seek other ways, other substitutes of worshipping different people, but we don't worship Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kattakera taru sadai sevilim, amrita pai berashe, prema kalpataru, Sri Gauranga Amar, tahara bhavile vine. You always hope to attain sweet juice fruit from your own worship of thorn trees, but this is not possible. Our Gaura Sundar is a desired tree, offering divine love, but you left him, thinking him to be poison. It's pretty self-explanatory. I wouldn't go in detail. Saurabhera ashe, palasha shikile, nashate pashile kita. Ikshu dhanda bhavi, katha chushili, khemana paive meetha. So this is a very funny thing. He says, Oh my mind, searching for some sweet aroma, you smell a beautiful palas flower, but it has no scent. And instead, an insect from the flower enters your nose. Can you imagine this? You smell a flower, you open a flower and try to smell it, and the insect flies from the flower and goes inside your nose. And he says the second point, Ikshu danda bhavi katha chushili. So you're chewing a wood, thinking it to be sugar cane, and then you say no nectar is coming. You're chewing a wrong substance or item, or you are smelling a wrong flower, right? which has no aroma or fragrance, but has some insects. So that's our position. We think this process will help me, this process will make my life better, or this process or this thing will give me nectar. But at the end of the day, month or year, you will realize, no, that's a failure. That's what Srila Chandandas Thakur is trying to say. Har bhaliya galaya parili, shamana kinkara shap. O my mind, death is like a snake which you have put around your neck, thinking it to be a garland. You entered a fire thinking it to be cool and suffered excruciating burning. So this is again our situation. We think it's a beautiful garland, but it's a snake. You know, we put so many jewelries or make great hairstyles, wear, branded clothes and try to decorate our bodies with everything. But at the end of the day, they are dead snake. And then we enter different stages of our life: student, household, marriage, divorce, family, parents, mother, father. We enter all these stages thinking that the stage will be a very beautiful, very memorable, a cherishable day or event for me. But what happens? We burn. We burn in those fire of klesha. Samsara bhajili, Shri Gauranga bhulili, na shunila sadhura katha. Iha parakala dukala koeli, khaile apana matha. So, oh my mind, enjoying the material pleasures, you never heeded to the devotee's words and forgot Gaura Sundar. Thus, both in this world and the next are lost to you. That's our position. We never respect the words of devotees. We never try to enter devotional service, and we are lost, of course, in this life because time is ticking, right? Time is ticking. It's not waiting for anyone. Each moment, each day in your life that you waste, it's not gonna come back. But there's an interesting thing. So if you say that, Prabhu, if we listen some kirtan and katha, the clock will still tick, right? If you're doing some other things, sleeping, eating, anything, the clock ticks. But even if you're doing devotional service, the clock ticks. Right? So what's the difference? Who can say? What is the difference when you're performing any other bodily activity and you're performing devotional service?
Is finished with the body?
Yes.
It continue.
Yes. So things that you do for yourself or anything for your pleasure, they will end. Or probably they will attach some more karmic reactions. They create a chain with you, but it will end. The pleasure or the pain will end. But the devotional activities that we do, they continue building. So if you chant one round or one syllable Hare Krishna, it's added to your count, and that will remain there forever. That's the difference. So I'm gonna skip the Gaura Pahu Bhajan. You can take it home and read it. I'll come to a beautiful song, next song that says Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and this is from a book named Gitavali. Gitavali is Gita Avali, so Deepavali. So it's a series or it's a chain of what? Gita songs. Deepavali, Deepa Avali. So that's how we say or learn. So like, if you know, if you have been to any Iskcon temple in the evening, there's a beautiful arti sung in the Sandhya Arti or Gaura Arti. Does anyone know what arti we sing in the evening? Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Arati Kashobha, right? The same song, the same mood is here while worshipping Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna, Jugala Milan, Arati Karoe Lalita Adi Sakhigan. Madana Mohana Rupa, Tribanga Sundar, Pitambara Shiki Pucha, Chura Manohar. Oops, my third line is cut here, so you can read it. Can someone read it, the third one? The third paragraph, can someone read it aloud? Okay, no problem, I'll go to fourth. Nana Veda Alankare Kori Jhalamol, Harimano Vimohana, Vadana Ujwal, Vishakhadi Sakhi Gana, Nana Rage Gaye, Priya Narma Sakhi Jata, Chamara Dulale. Shri Radha Madhava Pade, Saraji Se Ashe, Bhakti Vinod Sakhi Pade, Sukhe Bhashe. So, this is one of a pair if you have Radha Krishna deities or Radha Krishna photo at home. So while doing their artis, try to memorize this or try to learn this or sing it for them. It's a very beautiful song, and I'm not so poetic or I don't have any musical skills, but it goes like Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Milan Arati Karena Brahma Adi Devagan. So try to sing this for your deities, Radha Krishna photo or deities you have at your home. You will go to translation. All glories is the meeting of the transcendental pair, Sri Radha and Krishna. The gopis, headed by Lalita, perform the arati ceremony for their pleasure. So it's again setting the scene. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he sets the scene for Sandhya. Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande. So this is also arati set being brought up. The three bending form of Krishna, Tetra or Cupid, dresses in yellow silk dhoti, wearing crown decorated with peacock feathers, is simply captivating to the mind. Sitting to the left of the charming Lord Madhava is a daughter of King of Rishabhanu, dressed in lovely deep blue sari. Her complexion is color of molten gold, and all characteristics of her beauty and qualities are highly praiseworthy. She is decorated with various shimmering and sparkling ornaments. Her face is so splendorous that it enchants the mind of Lord Hari. The gopis of Vishaka's group sing many enchanting songs in the various tunes, while the topmost class of gopis, known as Priya Narma Sakhis, soothe this Radha Krishna by weaving chamar fans. Hoping to attain the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhav, Bhakti Vinod happily swims in the ocean of bliss found at the feet of themselves of Vrajat Dham. So it's a beautiful song. The other reason of this song is it gives you a picture of what's happening in Golok Dham, you know. This is a beautiful scene, a picture that says that what's happening. There's a arati going on, the Priya Narma Sakhis, they are singing, someone is fanning them with chamar, someone is singing their glories. Krishna is so beautiful, Radharani is so beautiful. So these are the reasons we need to follow, or we need to understand the songs of our acharyas. With the time, I'm gonna skip the next one. So we'll go to the last one. It's a homework for you. It's a beautiful song. The one that we skipped is from Jeev Goswami. It's in Sanskrit. I would recommend that you read it. Again, it's about Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. And the last song is in Hindi, surprisingly. And Before I proceed, a disclaimer, we do not follow the teachings of Mirabai. She is a great devotee, she was a great devotee, she is a great worshipper of Lord Krishna, a very powerful and very dedicated associate of Lord. But her teachings are something that we do not align to. The disclaimer here, I'm singing this song, the reason I put it here is she is trying to glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the rare incidents in the history you might have never heard. You might have heard Mirabai's song, right? Many songs you might have heard, Bollywood songs and so many. But you have never heard this song. It's to say, Abato Hari Naam Lo Lagi. सब जगह को बोलत माखन चोरा नाम धर्यो वैरागी कहाँ छाड़ी बहु मोहन मुरली कहाँ छाड़ी सब गोपी मोर मुंडाई shaved his head गोर कट्टी बांधी धोती मने ना मानी गोपी मात यशोमती माखन चोर भादी जाकी बहा श्याम किशोर भय नवगौर चैतन्य जाको नाम पीतांबर को भाव दिखावी कटी कॉपी न बसे गौर कृष्ण की दासी मीरा जसन कृष्ण बने ना बने. So this explains her mood. She is saying that she is servant of Gaure Krishna. Who is Gaura Krishna? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And she knows the fact that he is Sri Krishna himself. So reading at the meaning, O pious soul, now my conscience is absorbed in the chanting of holy names of Hari. The entire word addresses him as a butter thief. Krishna is known as butter thief, right? Makhan chor. But now he has become a monk who has given up the world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi and he had given up the world. So she is speaking about him. My dearest Mohan, why you have discarded your intimate companion, your divine flute? So in Krishna avatar, Krishna plays a flute, right, on the banks of Yamuna. And why you have renounced all the cowherd girls? There are no gopis around him. He is a sannyasi. You appear now with shaven head. You have shaved your head. And there is a saffron cloth at your waist, the dhoti or the lungi. But this clever cowherd girl uncovers your disguise and doesn't care to conceal it. So Mirabai has known the fact that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different than Sri Krishna. Now it seems like Mother Yashoda has tied both arms of butter thief, right? The Damodar Leela you heard in the Kartik. My dark beloved has now reappeared as newly fresh golden Lord, whose name is Chaitanya. Though clad himself in torn lion cloth, kopin, the sannyasis wear a kopin. Do you know what is kopin? Who knows what is kopin? Raise your hand if you know kopin. Only one, two, okay, three. So kopin is a pair of clothes that you tie around your waist. It's like it's called lion cloth. So it's the traditional underwear that sannyasis and renounced would wear. So he is wearing that lion cloth, not the skin of lion, okay? Not that. His yellow garments as well as inner loving sentiments are revealed to me. So she has understood the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mirabai is the maid servant of Golden Krishna. She is saying that she is the maid servant of Golden Krishna. Whether the glory of my name Krishna is recognized by all or not. So she doesn't care if everyone knows about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or not. But she recognizes him and she worships him. So we should worship him. So before I end, I'll take 1 minute to summarize try to sing these songs with your family at home. Song a day, couple of songs a day in the morning. Try to learn and memorize these songs. These songs are very, very precisely written. They are not just a vague poetic expressions that we hear from our today's poets. These are the words that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in 18th century. Sri Goswami wrote in 16th century. Right? So same words we are reading or we are trying to understand. So these words are as potent as the words of Sri Krishna because they are the words of his servants. So singing these songs before the tea because, and these are the ideal expressions you should have when you go to serve Lord or devote. I am fallen, I don't know. But yeah, you bring me to the platform where I can understand your glories. Oh Lord, you are so beautiful. Or Radharani, you are so beautiful. You are doing this. There is arti going on. So this sets your mind to a level where you can understand or try to understand Sri Krishna and his beautiful qualities. Because it's written by those people who were self-realized. These are pure devotees of Lord, so their words are very, very, very powerful. So I'll end my presentation here. We don't have time for any questions.
One question.
Quick. Okay, quick.
Paramatma guides, you said, Paramatma guides Shandalas too, are the serial killers. Does any scripture say that?
So the two qualities, it's a very difficult situation. So like,
Scripture says Paramatma guides.
yes. So this question is framed as, if I do something bad, is that Lord Krishna or Paramatma guiding me from the heart? Right? The answer is no. Krishna gives you independence to choose what you want to do.
That's what.
Krishna, that's the individuality. The soul is independent as always. Krishna will always give you independence to do whatever you wish to do or whatever you wanted to do. So at one point of time you were with Sri Krishna, but you tried to enjoy separately, independently of the God, and we all fall down. And now, in this material world, we want to enjoy, exploit, do everything that we need to do. That doesn't mean Krishna wants us to do that. It's our desires, and Krishna grants okay for those desires as well, because it's your desire, right? You want to exploit the world, you want to stay independent of the Lord. So Krishna says, okay. Sometimes you've seen little kids, when they try to do some dangerous thing, you stop them once. If they're touching something hot, you stop them once, twice. But third time, you allow them to touch it. So they realize they don't need to touch hard things. Right? That's what Sri Krishna does to us. He allows us to act independently, so we know that our ultimate shelter, our ultimate welfare is surrendering unto Him or being with Him. Okay? All right.
We should misuse the free will.
Yeah, don't misuse the free will. It's a free will given. You have a free will to use knife or gun. Don't misuse to kill someone, right? All right, thank you everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki, Lord Premanande.